Hello, everyone. Welcome to International English Guru, where dreams come true. So yesterday we talked about the changes which have taken place in PTE, and they are pretty serious. So now we are here to talk about how these changes are going to impact you. And I have actually studied it very deeply, and I mean it very deeply. And I want you all to benefit from all the time I have spent upon it. And I really mean it that every single student who plans to take the PT test, he's a student of International English Guru or he's not a student with International English Guru, he should get benefited. He should know, he or she should know, because I know how much these tests trouble students. And I really wish if it can get simpler for anyone because of what I'm doing right now, it should. So let's go into it. Right, so this is the first question which I want you to think about. Are shorter tests easier? So yes, naturally, PTE is presenting it as a great thing that the test is going to be shorter, it's going to be more convenient. But have you thought about it? Are shorter tests easier? You know, over a span of good 20 years, I have set a lot of question papers, and I know it has always been tougher for me when my limit upon the questions has been reduced. So whenever I had 20 questions to test a student, it has been easy for me to set that question paper. But whenever I was told you have to observe a student or check the student by only 5 questions or 10 questions, I had to really scratch my head bad to find out which question should I be putting so that I can assess student across all the different skills. So, you know, a teacher has to assess a student on different platforms, on different standards. So it's really important that there is a wider area available to a teacher to do that. But shorter tests make it difficult for the teacher. And if something is difficult for a teacher, you can imagine how difficult it's going to be for a student. So shorter tests are going to test you more strictly. They're going to really dive deep, and if you are able to meet up the criteria, great. If not, it is not very positive to me. Anyway, so I'm sharing my personal feedback with you on it. Shorter tests across the board as a rule of thumb are not easier tests. Shorter tests are harder tests, and students who sit OET, they would know this, that they've got a 10-minute test before their next part of the reading test, and the 10-minute test is the toughest thing in entire OET. So let's take it as the first thing, that shorter test is not an easier test. Now, Pearson's advertisement versus reality. Of course, Pearson wants to be popular. Pearson wants students to take this test. So naturally, it's trying to show it as a great thing that the test has gone from 3 hours to 2 hours. You know, I'm surprised how advertisement can make something look so different. I mean, if you were to really see what they have done, you would say, no, we don't want it. This is unfair. Don't do this, right? But in reality, we are made to see that test is going to be better and nicer now. But reality, I'll have you to look into what I have got ready for you and decide on your own whether this is really good for you or not. Okay, so we'll work through it together. So don't take my word, but look at the facts and figures I'm going to show you and decide by yourself what is right and what is not right for you. Okay, here we go. PTE in 2014 versus PTE in 2021. I'm pretty sure the students who would have scored 90 each in 2014 till 2017, if they are made to reappear the test in 2021, even 8 each would be hard for them. There was a time it used to be very simple rules were judged, and reading, writing, listening, everything was very simple. And students most of the times used to come back to me and tell me, ma'am, whatever you were teaching in the class, we got exactly the same question paper. They made things difficult. Over the time, it's gone tougher and tougher. And the students who've recently been sitting the test from last 2 years, they know what I'm talking about. So in 2021, 2020 and 2021, we've seen exponential increase in the difficulty level of questions in reading and write from dictation and in some listening questions as well. So anyway, PT test has gone tougher because, you know, having taught it for such a long time, I have seen how it has progressed. So let's just accept it as it is, that on date also it's not as easy as it used to be. But why is it that they have done it now? The reason is that they have to bring it equal to IELTS. They have to, because IELTS has already objected to it. The student who's able to score IELTS 6 bands, PTE 6 bands is not able to score 6 in IELTS. So PTE 65 is not equal to IELTS 7. So PTE 65 would be somewhere around 6.5, which means IELTS students are slogging harder, right? And this has been going around so much that PTE had to hear it. The templates are being used so much that people know about it now. And you don't think that Pearson doesn't know about it. Pearson knows about it as well. And looking at the objections, they did not have any choice but to make an attempt to bring it equal to it. And that's why there was that concordance report that said that 82 or 84 is going to be 8 each now. But that did not sit well with people. There was a hue and cry, and they had to take that action back. So, but yes, it has come back in just another shape. And this time they've been careful enough not to say that you need more band scores. They're just saying that, hey, test has gone shorter. It's now easier, and be happy about it. Let's look at the facts and figures I've got ready for you. And now, please, everybody, anyone who's attending it right now, I'll really need you to be open-minded, okay? And if you want, just keep your paper pen handy and be ready to do some maths here with me, okay? All right, starting off, so we're going to start backwards, and because it's a bit easier, and by the time I'll take you to speaking, you'll be ready to understand what actually has happened. So let's start. Summarize spoken text, it has gone down by 1 question, right? Multiple answer, gone down by 1 question. Highlight correct summary, gone down by 1 question. Single answer, select missing word, gone down by 1 question. So altogether, if you look at it, that's how many questions here? 4 questions here and 1 question here. So summarize spoken text is 10 points, right? And it is 10 minutes. So 10 minutes and add another 4 minutes. So that's 14 minutes, correct? So the total time they allowed you earlier was 45 to 57. Now they're allowing you 33 to 43. Can you do some maths for me and tell me now, because of this change, how much time difference are you expecting should happen? Just do your maths. If they're removing 5 questions, how much should be the time difference? How much should they allow you now? Making the test shorter, whatever, you know, how much is it? Anyone who can tell me the answer. It's a live session, come on. Let me know if someone's good at mathematics. So earlier, when you were having all nights, right, it was 45 to 57 minutes. Now, the total time is 30 to 43. What is the decrease? All right, I'll make it easy for you. Okay, calm down. Earlier 57, now 40 points, right? And in minimum time, again, there is a decrease of 15 minutes. Now, what you need to look into is that there is 10 minutes coming from our summarized spoken text, and another 4 questions should mean 14 minutes. So it's gone down by 14 to 15 minutes altogether. It looks logical that yes, all the other 3 questions, all the other 4 questions should be 1 minute each, and they have cut down your 4 minutes, which is okay. Like by the looks of it, looks perfect, right? Now, the problem here is that it is not just your time of response, which they have cut down. Think about the recording time. Okay, so there would be a recording which would be, say, 40 seconds to a minute, right? So that time is there. And then the other time which you take to respond to it, right? There is more time to it than they're actually decreasing. And then looking at the impact, okay, this is important. How's it going to impact you? Decrease in time, and we know right from dictations have already gone very long. So they are somewhere now from anywhere from 7 words to even 15 words. They are that long, right? And they're coming at the end. So they put that pot of gold at the end, and it takes students that question type. And most scoring and still the lengthiest one as well to handle. You have to do a lot of memorizing with it. So having reduced time all the way, right? And having all the other questions to judge you and easy 10 points gone from here is not a good news to my understanding. What do you think about it? Does it look like a good thing has happened? Had your listening fill in the blanks gone down, I would have said, yay, very nice, right? Summarize spoken text, no, we want it, right? Multiple answers, they anyway used to ask you 2, not rarely 3, right? So there wasn't much to it. Whatever they have done, they made sure that the tougher questions stay, the easier questions go down, and it's going to impact. It's going to impact. I'm going to talk about a strategy which I thought would help all of you. So before I close the session, because when I was working through what has happened, how it's going to impact the students, I was also thinking, how would students react and how should they respond? Right? Reaction is okay. Like mine is a mix of reaction and response because I'm a bit annoyed about it as well. The students, a lot of them were anyway struggling. But responding to the situation means that we actually have a good plan of action, and I have a plan of action ready for you. So I'll share that with you. Impact on 50 plus. Summarize spoken text question being cut down is going to have an impact on every target score. So you have to work harder. You have to gain. Look, I'm not worried about these points, but these 10 points, they'll make your write from dictation harder. They'll make your highlight incorrect words carry more weightage. They'll make your missing word or, any of these other question types, even fill in the blanks, carry more weightage. So this is what's going to happen, and you have to be careful about that. So whatever you do in your listening module, because students used to ignore all these simple questions. They used to think, it doesn't matter, we are going to get most of our points for summarized spoken text. Now you can't do that. You have to now pay attention to every single question. So this is from the listening module. Let's look at the reading module. Again, it doesn't look bad by the sounds of it. That okay, multiple choice question has gone down by only 1 question, and MCQ single answer has gone down by 1 question. But look at the total time. So 1 question here, 1 question here. How much time do you think you needed for MCQ, multiple answer, and single answer? If you do 1 question, do you think 2 minutes each question? Or 2.5 minutes each question? But looking here, 32 to 41, your total time, it has now gone down to 29 to 30. So what is the difference? Again, you want to do some maths? What is the difference now? How much time have they taken off? Isn't even participating here? Do we have any answers? 2.5. Okay. All right. So in maximum time, the old time which was permitted was 32. The new time is 29. So there is a decrease of 3 minutes here, and there is a decrease of 11 minutes. Look, because reading and listening, they are self-paced tests. There is no special time allocated to every question type. I don't want to look at it from point of view. I want to look at it from the time point of view, because here time is of essence. Time is critical, right? So summing it up, your reading has gone down by 3 to 11 minutes. Okay, the reading time has gone down from 3 to 11 minutes. And I know if a student is targeting 79 plus, we were actually planning to have a webinar today on time management for 79 plus, because a lot of students were requesting that we are not able to finish the exam. So that clarifies how much critical time is for any score, and students who are targeting 65 plus, for them, they were not attempting single answers and multiple answers, but were still not able to finish the exam on time. So any time cut short is not going to have a good impact on any of the target scores, except probably 50. But even for 50, I would say so many times when I've asked 50 plus students to focus only on blanks and leave everything aside, they would still come back and say, I couldn't do 1 blank. It took me longer, because they take longer to think and analyze, and then they want to be sure about what they are doing. So even a minute cut from any of these places is not good. Now, what strategy should you have about it? We'll have to look into it, and we will. All right, just a little thing I want to share about International English Guru. It's breaking my chain of thought, but then it's important, and I think I really have to. So one thing is that International English Guru, we've got highest and the fastest online results. Now, what gets students to get the result in 10 days and 5 days and 20 days? in a month. So like, a month is kind of our max. 6 weeks is our max, I think. For every score, we try and get it within that time. And most of the students, they get it in a week or 2 weeks even. So how it happens is because at International English Guru, irrespective of the place you're sitting in the world, you may be sitting in Dubai, you may be sitting in India, or, in New Zealand, or in Australia, any part of Australia, Perth, or anywhere. Every single student gets a personal trainer. So online course is not where you are sitting in front of Zoom and there are 50 people in that group, someone is eating, and, nothing like that is happening. Every student, he gets a personal trainer, right? And you study in your own availability. There is 100% flexibility of time with this online course. So if you want to study early morning, in the afternoon, 10 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's all possible with it. So this is what students love the most, because life is really hectic and busy out here in Australia and New Zealand. And we know any time saved is time gained. One-on-one daily feedback. So lots of times when students have joined me in the celebration time and I'm taking their feedback, they tell me what they like most about International English Guru's online classes is that teachers, they monitor them every single day. Say this, like one of the students, 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀, I was speaking to her just day before yesterday, 2 days back. That's why it's very fresh. And she said to me that I used to be coming back from my work and my teacher, Miss Christy, used to call me and she used to be like, hey, have you written your essay? I need to see this. And she would feel that, yes, I have to do it because the teacher's calling me. So that pressure which you need and that, motivation which you need, that comes all the way because you have that one-on-one daily feedback and you have a person monitoring you all the way through. So this is really great. And I think this is the best thing which is being done. Detailed lessons by the curriculum designer. Okay, this is something which not everybody understands it, but I know the importance of it. So see, if I'm going to tell something to someone straight, he's going to get most of it. But if that person is going to teach it to the third person, he'll definitely miss on something. And third person ends up teaching it to the fourth person, there'll again be a lot of miss out. So here, I'm the curriculum designer myself. I have worked out all the strategies by going through thousands and thousands of questions. I have seen them in action. I have practiced them myself. So I know how they work and no one can explain those strategies better than I can. So what you get here in our online courses, that you get all the lessons by me. So whatever you're learning, I'm teaching it myself to you. So there is no chance that anything is not being delivered exactly, accurately the way it should be told. And final, but the most important part here is that we don't have the same strategy for all the different band scores. So, when you do something very well, you learn to specialize at it. And that's exactly what we've done. We could see that the templates, which are great for 79, the students who target 50 plus struggle with those templates. And we really need to, make life of students who are targeting 50 and 65 plus simpler. So we design different templates, different strategies, which are easily understood by students who are for 50 plus. The ones who need 65, they get their own strategies and templates, which are enough for their band score. And then of course, for 79 plus, we've got like the ultimate, what they should know, all that they should know, it's covered in there. So it is band score specific training rather than just the same food, the same medicine, put it in everybody's mouth. It fits them, doesn't fit them, it reacts without looking at that. No, we don't do that. So this is about how we do it. And because you can do it in any time, you get fastest results. Sometimes students, they cover 3 weeks syllabus in 3 days. They take off from work, do it fast. And it works great. So we're very happy about it. And if any of your friends is needing help with it, then please do recommend. This online course is something which is just the best education possible. And your friend would thank you for it. Anyway, moving on, writing module. So what happens here is, what has happened here is your only one question has gone down, your summarized written text question. And now we don't want to look at the timings actually here. That's not important to us. What is important here is the points. How many points are going down? So would you know what is the weightage of summarized written text? How much weightage does it carry? How many points? Essay, how many points is the essay? Because here we don't have to worry about time. Look, you have specific time for every question, so it doesn't matter. All right, it doesn't matter. If they give you 2, they'll give you 40 minutes. If they give you 1, they'll give you 20 minutes. So, you know, it's very... Now, summarized written text. What is the weightage? Do we have any answer? Does anyone know? What is the weightage of summarized written text? No one knows. Oh my God. All right. So your summarized written text is 7 points. Okay. So when they have brought down this one, it means now you have 7 points less in your kitty than earlier, right? Because this was very easy, very simple strategy. Sorry. Okay. All right. Never mind. Where was I? Yeah. So coming back to it, your summarized written text, you're losing your 7 points, right? And you're straight losing it because this one was going towards your reading and was going to help you with your writing as well. And missing it in both the places is not a very good sign. Anyway, now looking at maximum points from your essay and summarized written text earlier was adding up to 61. Now it's adding up to 54. Earlier, your minimum points from writing, see, writing is not out of 90. When you go and sit your writing test, it's not out of 90, right? Maximum, it can be out of 60, minimum, it will be out of 30. So all the other points are coming from different places, you know, from your fill in the blanks reading and writing, from your write from dictation and so many other places, right? So, but when you sat your writing test, just, you know, how you tell yourself that, okay, this is my writing module starting, you only had these 2, right? Now, what is the new thing about it is that now maximum points which you can get from your writing module itself out of 90 is going to be 54, okay? You have lost 7 here already. Just the way system has changed, you've lost these 7 points. And minimum points 27, again, if you get only 1 essay and only 2 summarized written texts, you've again lost 7. So as for the new system, max is going to be 54, minimum is going to be 27. What impact, so because your writing is 7 points shorter, what impact will it have on 50 plus? I would say it's, you tell me actually, do you think it's good? If you're targeting 50 plus, losing easy 7 points, can you afford it? Or this one or anywhere? So 7 points going towards your reading, going towards your writing. Do you think you can afford to miss these 7 points? Think, come on, don't make me say everything. Think about it. 7 points. Do you think you can miss these? Can you afford to? All right. I would need you to think about it yourself, but moving on, speaking module. All right. So is the worst, okay, of all that we've seen till now. This I wish they had changed read alouds. You know, they should have cut them half, repeat sentence, cut them half, and yahoo, right? But what have they done? My goodness, they have cut down our images. Now you'll get 3 less images. You'll get 2 less retell lectures. You'll get 5 to 6 less answer short questions. Any student who's taken PTE test and who's got trained for it, of course, you know, if someone's new, they are scared of images. But then anyone who's taken, you know, they know that these are the easiest, right? Now, I know how happy students are after they have the strategy lesson and they come out and they're like, Mom, I'm going to get 90 or 90. I got this. I'll beat it. So, you know, I remember the confidence, but then what has happened here? All these questions gone. Okay, all these questions gone. Don't worry about the time. Time is no problem here, right? But points, you know, that's what matters to me. So, just for you to understand it better. And look, I want you to appreciate my effort here. I have worked really hard on it, okay? I have spent quite some time, and I want to be, you know, paying my thanks to my son as well, who helped me make these slides, because it was, I really want to thank him. It was good. Okay, so old and new. When we go here, your retail lecture, the minimum points you were getting from it was 15 to 20. Now you're going to get 5 to 10. Describe image. Earlier, you were getting 18 to 21 points. Now you're getting only 19 to 21 to 12. 9 to 12. One word answer, easy 10 points. Now only 5 to 6. So earlier, you were getting 43 to 51 points from your retail lecture, describe image, and one word answer questions. Now it has gone down to 19 to 28. Think about it. How good is that? How good is that? Easy points. Earlier you could get 43, now you will get 19. Earlier you could get 51, now you're going to get 28. Okay, I don't think I've got that. Oh yeah, it's there. Okay. So earlier, your read aloud and repeat sentence all together, they were going to give you 39 to 47 points, right? Only these two, because see, speaking, it's really easy to do the maths because points are not coming from here to there. They're just 90, right? Speaking scored out of 90, listening, writing don't contribute to it at all. So when we say speaking, we mean speaking. Look at the new one, okay? Now your read aloud and repeat sentence has to carry the weight of your read aloud of your other three questions which have been cut short. So there's some question answer session. I'll take those, but now it's nearly the double of it, right? So you cannot mess up with your read aloud and repeat sentence anymore, right? So its impact. Look, good part, let me tell you the good part. It wouldn't have any impact on the students who are scoring 90 or 90, right? So if you are aiming for 79 each and you're already scoring 90 or 90, which a lot of students do, and a lot of students who are enrolled with us have already scored 90 or 90 before they joined us multiple times. So they don't even think about it. And look, it's not going to make any difference to those students, all right? But you know, where it's going to make a difference is if your target score is 65 or if your target score is 50, right? This can be a blow. This can be a blow. So you have to start working, right? You have to really start working here. Now, there are some questions which the students at the institute have submitted. So I'm going to take those. Will I be negatively marked for the template? I believe not, okay? Though I cannot be 100% sure with what I'm saying here, right? I'm saying I believe not, because PT system, they've got a very sophisticated marking system, but then still they cannot lose the students who are getting scores, right? If no one would clear, then of course they'll get to know they'll lose a lot of business, everything, economics of things. So I don't think they are going to take the template bit off. If their system starts to recognize the template, I'd say better switch to IELTS. Don't worry about PT. You know, don't worry about it. I doubt it. I don't think you're going to face any problem with it. But let me know, what do you think about it? They're saying they have manually gone through hundreds and thousands of students' answers, and they have looked into things, and they've done a lot of research. Somewhere I have a feeling that if they've done that research, they know about it. But will they overlook it for now, or would they do something about it? Not sure. That's one thing which we need to see, but then I'm personally, I don't think they will. So that's one thing I'm happy about. That might not happen, but we'll know. Now, will there be any changes in the weightage of question types of the distribution of marks? A little framed question, but I understand what is being asked here is that will your question types change? Yes, 100%. That's what we are worrying about. Which were harder, their weightage is automatically going to increase, and it's going to be making things difficult, because read aloud and repeat sentence were anyway a challenge, and now having more attributed to them, definitely it's going to affect. All right, reduction in time. You tell me, come on. Are there any benefits to the reduction in time? Just that, look, personally, I would say I would prefer a 4-hour test, but an easier one, right? Rather than a 2-hour test, but a tougher one, right? I don't mind a longer test as long as it is easy. Right? If they are going to make, so through harder questions, their skill set estimation remains the same, their judgment criteria remains the same, but they have to choose harder questions to check your level of language skill now. This is what is happening. So I really personally, no, I don't see any benefit to the reduction in time, except that, you know, you'll be just out of it in 2 hours, but rather sit in there. Come on, sit in longer and get the score you want, rather than, you know, just come out of it early, saving that 1 hour, but then later on repenting. So I'm a total no-no. Will the marks traveling from one module to another module be affected? Certainly. Good question. Whosoever put it, good question. Yes. It will be affected, definitely affected. So you can expect that your reading score, quite a lot of it is going to come from your read alouds. A lot of your listening score is going to come from repeat sentence, and lots of, you know, this is actually like a spider's web. It's very confusing, but yeah, we'll take it up sometime. Rather, talking about it, I would love to know what topic you would like me to take up for a live free to all session. So I would be interested in picking up something else next time, if you are encouraging enough to give me enough likes in this one. Okay. Does no break make the exam any tougher, considering both reading and listening are mentally exhausting? Okay, excuse me for the spelling error. Okay, so that's like, my son made the slide. Here we go. Does no break make the exam tougher? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Look, no matter what, in the exam, I would not want you to take any break, no matter what. Even if it's a 3-hour exam, no break. See, break is called a break for a reason. It breaks the flow, it breaks the rhythm, right? You cannot afford any break when you're in something serious, right? Even, you know, when I'm teaching and there was that, you know, why the results of students at International English Guru are fastest and highest, that distracted me a bit, right? Because that broke my chain of thought, right? So when you're doing something as serious as a test, you know, it's like you are doing some penance, some sacrifice. It's a big thing happening when you're in the exam. You're a totally different person. Your energies are concentrating somewhere, and just having them to, you know, take a break from that great mental makeup which you have is stupid. So I'm sorry to use a little harsh word on there, but please, no, it won't affect you. It should not affect you. And don't think about breaks. Don't think about breaks. We don't want them. Now, do less questions means there's a lot lower chance of making mistakes? No. Less questions means they are going to be tougher questions, and there'll be a higher chance of making mistakes. There'll be a higher chance of making mistakes. Okay. You know, I think you're saying that I get the question, but it's not like that. It doesn't work that way. If you know, in fill in the blanks reading, when the passages are shorter, they are tougher, okay? When the blanks, they are very close to each other and it's a very small passage, I've seen hardly any student gets them right. So less questions doesn't mean you'll make less mistakes. It's actually meant to make you make more mistakes, okay? What should be my strategy now? Yes, this is the question. What should you do now? Very, very important question. You know, I've got things ready for you. And I'll take you there. But before I take you there, what you have already done a lot in life to have reached the point where you need to clear this test. Okay, you have already accomplished a lot. You already are somewhere, right? And when you already have overcome all those hurdles and obstacles, this test, no matter what thing to make you fall, right? It cannot be the thing to slow you down. It cannot be the thing to deter you, right? So your strategy, first of all, take a big puff and say, it's okay, I can handle it and I will handle it. Cool. That's the whole thing about being a human being, right? We know how to handle things. Okay, the strategy. So The strategy which I have shared with all the teachers at International English Guru goes as this. Any student who's preparing for, okay, just excuse the mistake, 79 plus, any student who's preparing for 79 plus, just change that figure in your brain if you're sitting the exam after 16th November. Make it 84 plus, okay? Now, please don't hate me for telling you these things, because if you are going to close your eyes to reality, it's not going to make things any better. Okay, if a pigeon is going to close its eyes, a cat is coming, but closing the eyes, it's definitely going to get eaten. If it's got the eyes open, it can save itself, right? So I hate to be the person to bring this all up to you, but then you better realize it now and find a way to work around it. So if your target score is 79 plus, now you have to start preparing for 84 plus, okay? 65 plus, change it to 68 plus. I have done all my maths. I won't bore you with all the things, all the other things I've done. I've got sheets on sheets, you know. I wouldn't worry you with all those things, but I'm giving you a crux. 65 plus should be 68 plus, 50 plus should be 56 plus. Now, speaking 90, if your speaking is 90, then only ignore it. If your speaking has never been 90, it's always been sitting in 70s or 80s, start working hard on it. Another thing I'd suggest you to do is to master your question sequence, because see, when you're doing IELTS test, there is a passage which relates to one topic and you're focused in there, right? And you know, that's great. In PTE, you start to understand one passage, you know it inside out, and by the time there'll be another topic altogether, and then third topic, and then fourth. Brain jumps like a bloody monkey, right? And you get so tired of it that it exhausts you. So it's very important that you know how the whole thing works, and you know in what fashion the questions would come one after the other, so it doesn't disturb you and you're used to it. So definitely sit quite a lot of mock tests. Now, what should you do? Yes, very important. You still have good 8.5 to 9 weeks, okay? You still have 8.5 to 9 weeks before this is going to change, right? So you still have time. You have time with the old system, with the old pattern. Please rush in, book your dates, give it a try at least. Even if you're not prepared, I'd say you stand a far stronger chance of doing it now than doing it after 16th. Okay, test is valid for 2 to 3 years. So even if you need your results after a year, consider doing it now. Okay, consider doing it now while it is easy. Share it with your friends and relatives. If you've got your wife who has to sit the test in a year's time, if you've got your friends who are already trying the test and you've cleared, but you know another friend of yours is still going under that drill and you know having that insane time at it, let them know that the rules are changing. Hey, I knew you were preparing. If you're not done with it, please go and do it. Okay, things are changing. Make a plan you can stick to. This is very important, you know, making plans is easy, but then please make a plan you can stick to, which means be kind to yourself. Try and make a plan where you are giving time to yourself to relax and eat. And so it cannot be 24-hour studies. It has to be reasonable. Make a reasonable plan and then just tell yourself, I have to stick to it, right? Now, how to make a plan. This is also something important and I'd like to cover. And the most important thing which I'd like to advise you here, please don't experiment, okay? If it is that there is a war, you would not see at that point a country going and saying, okay, we need to now make a pistol or a gun or something because there is a war. This is not a time for you to devise your own tricks and, you know, work things from YouTube or here or there, right? If you want to make use of the time, this is a time you approach a professional who's already done things right, who know how things are happening right, take advantage of their experience, you get done with it, irrespective of the cost. Okay, if possible, like some smart students, they book 2 dates. Just in case I don't make it in the first one, I would use my husband's or my wife's ID and drop the date and catch that one. So a lot of Chinese students do that, and that's a very smart way to handle things. So, but most of all, right now, please don't start preparing, making tricks on your own or learning from here and there. Just do your research, find out a place which can really help you properly and stick to what they're teaching you and do it. Okay, don't experiment. Don't do it yourself right now. I mean, this is not a time to try it yourself. If you want to make advantage of the time we have in hand right now, 8 to 9 weeks, just jump into action. All right, I want to apologize here to some students who had actually enrolled and who had signed up for this time management webinar we were going to have today at 4 p.m. But because this thing came in the middle, we had to cancel that, and we had to send a request to everybody to just excuse us for this time. But I'm planning to have it next week now. So if you want to be, and I'm actually happy that I didn't have it today, because now my entire calculation on time management is going to change for 79 plus, because I'll have to look at it as 84 plus, and time management has to be done accordingly. So a lot of things are going to change. So I'm happy about that, actually, that I didn't have it today. So I'm going to just improve it and probably see you next week. So you'll be able to see another poster like that, where we would be giving you the information. Just show your interest, and yes, you can join me live, but that won't be live. Yeah, it'll be live webinar, but it wouldn't be live on Facebook. Now, this is it from me. All right. So like, share, and comment. Like, share, and comment. I hope it was helpful. I sincerely mean that this benefits you, and you see things in the right light. Take the right action, right? Take the right action, and things happen to your advantage. And no matter what, like I said, if we have to handle it after 16th of November, we will handle it after 16th of November. But if we can do it before that, look, at least, if you're preparing, you've been preparing, you've done your things, try your hardest. If you have to take off from work, take off from work. If you have to, put your kids in childcare, do whatever you have to do, but try and clear it before 16th of November is my sincere advice. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. I hope it was helpful, and I wish you all a lot of good luck. Think right, do right, stay positive. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. Oh, no, actually, are there any questions we need to take? Yeah, there are. Okay, 𝗙𝗵𝗁𝗀. Thanks, ma'am. It's helpful. Thank you so much. I've got Sonu. Thank you. Thanks, Sonu. Komal. Hi, Komal. Thank you very much, ma'am. Pleasure, Komal. Faith, very useful. Thank you. Pleasure. Simar, thank you. Jagdeep, thank you. Emily, I have a question. Come on, Emily. Tell me, what is your question? I'd love to answer. I like students who ask questions, because that tells me they're thinking, Okay, you two have a question. Perfect. Come on, put your questions. What question do you have? Who's got a question? So Emily had a question? No? Okay, yeah, okay, bit impatient. How can I join in for training before 16th of November? Okay, so Neetu, what you have to do is you have to give a call on 0411-520-546, and you speak to our expert, and he'll guide you through as to how you have to join. We'll be taking your test. So how it'll work is, like, I love the process. We won't straight start teaching you, right? We'll put you on a test, right, Neetu? So we'll put you on a test, and we'll see which areas are you lacking in. And we'll try to find out the fastest way to cover those areas, right? And get you there before 16th of November. So right now, our target at International English Guru is to make sure every single person gets it before 16th. So, this is the big thing on our mind. What will be the transition like for people who can't get through the test before 16th and then have a second attempt after 16th? Very smart question. Very good question. I don't want to demoralize you, right? But at the same time, it's hard for me to lie here. Because look, I'm a teacher. Fine, I'm a teacher, and saying something which I don't believe in is very difficult for me. It's very difficult for me. So it it can be tough, okay? It can be tough. So try and do it before 16th, right? Do whatever you have to do. Try and do it. Like, at least I don't want you to repent later on that it was once easier. So if the students were sitting the test in 2021, if they could sit it in 2014 or 2015, they would clear it like this, right? So I would suggest you that please try your hardest, make your family accommodate, you know, do whatever possible, but try and do it before 16th of November, because look, PTE has to make the test tougher. It was quite due on it, to be honest. It had to do it. So 𝗪𝗪, thank you. How to gain 65 score in PTE? Right now, it's easy. Right now, it's easy, 𝗵𝗧𝗂. 65 is not a problem right now. Look, I don't know about what you have scored so far. Thanks, Emily. I don't know what you have scored so far, 𝗵𝗧𝗂, but 65 is really not a big deal. Right now, even 79 is not a big deal. Right now, it's fine, right? Right now, we know the system. We've mastered the system. We know how everything works. Look, we can definitely help you. Easy way, right at this point. So we'll look into things later on as to how they change. We'll be keeping a very close watch, and we'll definitely be on it to find out easier ways for you. Okay, any more questions? Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. Emily, 𝗪𝗪, Aveen, 𝗵𝗧𝗃, Sonu, Sailesh, Neetu, Nish, and Jagdeep, Simmer, Faith. How are you doing, Faith? I remember the little one still. 𝗪𝗪, Komal, 𝗪𝗪, okay, 𝗕𝗏𝗏. All righty. All good then, Prableen. I think PT is hard now. You think it's hard now? Well, wait for it. Wait for it after 16th November if you think it's hard now. All righty, everybody. I think it's the time to go. All good. You have a beautiful day, everybody. Signing off. Take care.